we'll get started. Thank you everybody for joining us today at our first hybrid meeting. Hopefully soon we'll be able to all join hands and sing Kumbaya one of these days. We will just mention who is here at the inn. You can see the rest of you out there in internet land. My name is Kent Corey with Weekend Enterprises and the COVID Property Management and co-chair of the Landlord Contact. Lucas, security. You want to introduce folks? You want to sign the master?
You'll probably have to speak up because this is the speaker here, or the microphone.
Kelly O'Neill, Assistant District Attorney, New West Side Community Prosecutor.
Orland Sanders, police officer.
Pete Stanley, New West Side Partners.
Lindsay St. Arnold, near West Side Partners.
All right, great. And all the rest of you again, thank you for joining us today. We'll get started. We have no presenters. We'll get right to the nuisance properties on our list. 2820 West Wells Street. Calls for service.
There's 2 calls for service, one was a theft and the other was trouble with subject.
We have somebody from DNS with us, John.
John's out of the office until like the 24th, I believe.
Is that Mark?
That was Josh.
Oh,
So
so no DNS.
no DNS.
Okay. Know that. Next property, 2848 West Wisconsin.
There was 2 calls for service and they were both trouble with subject.
$730 North 29th Street.
There were 0 calls for service.
We're going to talk about the lot between the two. The drug dealing that's going on. The cars parked in the lot. That's what I was hoping to get. That's what it is.
Yeah, yesterday, me, Bobby, and Swear was out and cut the picture of them in the back, but it was kind of like 2 p.m. dark, but it was piggyback there, it was great. Like they had the whole set up with the patio.
I got pictures on my phone. I gave them. I sent them. They got a table set back with chairs. Yeah. And then there's a guy that sits off in the corner. The other guy that's out on the street, he's selling on the street, and they do hand to hand. He's driving a blue Ion. I got the plate. He's been out there all week. And they're trying to cross this building at the point to come out the back door. But when I pull up, they right away to close the door. So I'd let them know about it. So so
Yeah, we seen a couple people going back and forth.
You speak up just a little. YouTube. It's hard to hear you.
So did I not see also an email, Lindsay, from either the police department or DNS in regards to a recent walkthrough? Did that come from John talking about
That
these
was
two buildings, about electrical wires open and a bunch of stuff on the recent inspection?
yes. Yep. It was a DNS complaint that came through eNotify. They indicated a number of interior issues and then indicated that they had contacted MPD.
Kelly, right now we know nothing's being talked about as far as these two locations at all on captain's radar or any.
Not that I know of, but we've been writing notes now that we're hearing all of this stuff, and we'll follow up, especially with the drug information.
Isn't this supposed to be that?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I just, look, Kelly, real question, do you know if it's been brought up? Because I know that corridor is challenging in the summer. With 700 blocks on 29. Any thoughts as far as, are we seeing any trends that you're aware of? Is it, you know, even like in the, like heat map is problems? I know there's recent shootings there.
Is that why that memorial was up?
Yeah,
There's
they
a
got
chair
lots of
there with candles, and all that stuff, it just showed up.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Greg, our question for you, are we doing it? What are we doing? Did we send out letters? Did we?
We just sent out letters for the landlord contact meeting, but we still waiting for the folks.
Oh, should we send out letters? Should we send out letters to the owners and make sure they're invited to the landlord council? I mean,
Yeah.
we need to have
They are.
a strategy.
They're giving letters because they're on
They're on the list.
I got 2904 there, and there's some problem with that side door. I've had an ongoing problem with probably four
People just
apartments.
people here. The people can't speak.
I'm having difficulty hearing some people. Just
So I've got about 4 apartments that I've had ongoing issues with coming in and out of that door, sitting outside there, then they mingle with the other people. I used to keep that door locked, but I can't do that for building inspections because it's fire,
Yours is the only shop, because yours is the brick one.
yeah, that's all.
The tall brick one on the corner.
So what we did, we did order and we received it today, an alarm, you know, which is by itself gonna stop it because, you know, people will set up, but it makes it more difficult. I've got people that are gonna be on call for that, watching that alarm at night if it goes off. The 4 apartments that I've been trying to get rid of for some time, we went ahead and started to commence, we started filing it because the moratorium we thought was over. Then, so we sent all the certifieds, then it was extended, of course, but my attorney said, just file it anyway. He said the worst case, it'll get delayed and we should be in the queue. He thinks there's a good chance it's gonna get struck down anyway because of the previous Supreme Court ruling. So those people are in the queue. They're just getting their paperwork right anytime they serve it the next week or so. And I will get that shut down over there. Sure. It has been.
Do you have cameras on that building?
Yeah, but I'm
But
gonna
like
put,
a public right of way camera.
no, I'm gonna put one up on the 2 up on the southeast corner. One's gonna shoot up 29th and one's gonna shoot west on Wisconsin. Right now I have a camera across the street at 29 Wisconsin that gets the whole front. So I don't have anything up that side. So
I would say we could, just because that's becoming an issue now, newer side, we're happy to look at helping with some of the costs. I want to get more cameras and lights, but it's going to be contingent upon Kelly says, okay. So in other words, if it's a problem, then let's do it. If it's not a problem, it's an anomaly, we're going to do it. But we're happy, if you're just getting 2, we will happy to put more money to get double that or triple that. We need more cameras.
yeah,
That to me, now, you know, that's been hot for all summer, right?
For years.
But it wasn't that bad though.
Where?
It wasn't, at least in my opinion, it wasn't as bad as it is now.
It's never changed.
It's out of control right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually comfortable walking there. I'm not comfortable walking there now. I used to be comfortable walking there all the
When
time.
I drive through there and they see me, I'll slow down and then they'll see me and they'll go away. And then I'll come back 20, 30 minutes later, they're right back out there. And that's, like I told the one dude, that's the leader over there, get off the truck and I say, hey, dude, look, I'm trying not to make this bad on you, but it's gonna turn bad on you in a minute. Because I'm gonna make that call that you don't want me to make. When I make it, they're gonna come hot and heavy and you're gonna be sick. You're gonna be sitting locked up for what?
Yeah.
Go somewhere else, man. Go to another neighborhood. I don't want it here.
There's a couple known drug dealers right over there. Okay. Dwayne.
Yeah, Jim's building has been relatively quiet for
Mhm.
several months, and all of a sudden, the last few weeks or so, a lot of activity in the front, coming
Yeah.
and going, and
To do with the drugs that's there. Here's the main
So
one.
Dwayne, you need a strategy. Whatever it is, work with Bobby to get a strategy and so that we know when Kim brings it up next month, we've done something. And we need to work with Kelly to make sure that if we got calls for service, if it's hot, then we put money towards it.
All right, and that's what's down.
Alfonso feels that
Yeah,
the drugs are
yeah,
panhandling.
yeah.
Dude, he lays down on 29 middle of the street. He's gonna end up getting run over. He's the guy that's always at 405 North 27. He's always on 27th in Wisconsin and 35th in Wells. He's on probation. He has a probation agent, and
Well, the problem is, if he's going to put cameras up and lights up, we need to get letters out to everybody else on that block and say, we'll also put up lights and cameras. She's willing to do that, and we need to make sure we are inviting those people personally, calling them, to make sure that they're actually.
You know, you're not gonna get any cooperation from your 2848 or
Well,
730.
our safe place,
You got them.
this is good.
You got them, and then at the end of the block is Berrada.
Mhm.
So good luck.
No.
Anyway, we need to move on. Next property, 835 North 23rd Street.
So there's a total of 5 calls for service, 3 trouble subjects, 1 battery, and 1 trespass.
Sorry, what was the second call?
Trouble subjects with 3 adults, and we have 1 battery, and then
Battery.
one trespass.
Next property, 3345 West Highland.
There's a total of 3 calls for service. 2 of them were trouble subjects, and then another was subject with gun.
Anybody with us today for Jomela Properties?
Hi, good afternoon. Attorney Gary Cook is here. Again, I'm taking notes and I'm going to report back to Kayla with this information.
All right, thank you.
Are they you, or would there be somebody else that knows what's going on in the building? Because I know last time in our last contact meeting, you couldn't answer any of the questions because you don't know too much of what's going on. So do you know-
That's right. I'm here to take notes and report back to Kayla. I know that she's working directly with the district police station to work through these issues.
Okay, all right, thank you. Next property, 1143 North 29th Street.
There was 2 trouble with subjects calls.
this building's out of control. This
Which
building,
one?
it's built in
Eleven.
North 29th Street, on 29th Street. There's a lack of management there.
Whose building is this?
This is,
Oh, well, you got Juneau Gardens listed.
yeah, because it's
On the sky.
under Scott Lori,
Oh,
which he owns Jomela, but he says it's not a Jomela building, but he's the owner of it.
all right.
I got a report today from a manager that's not affiliated with this building, but he has a building on Highland. He gave me an apartment number. He said there's sex trafficking going from the building 3006 West Highland to this building. He just texted me today, so I have to talk to Kelly to find out. What he said. 3006 West Highland.
2809 West Highland Boulevard.
Just 1 call for service, and that's theft.
Anybody here with smart assets today?
Maybe just one more call. Anybody for smart assets? Hmm.
3120, 3128 West Wisconsin.
There's just 1 call for service, and that's trouble with subject at 3120.
2448 West Kilbourne.
0 calls for service.
2743 West Highland.
0 calls for service.
1021 North 24th Street.
0 calls for service.
We went past there one of the times. I know the church across from it was complaining about drug dealing. Back and forth. So we've been over there, and you see a various people that sits out in front. We don't know if they all live there, but it's a bit of traffic.
Ed, can everybody speak up? We're hearing that it's hard to hear, and it's very hard to hear the calls for
Well,
service.
use your outside voice, man.
So just a little.
This 1021 North 24th Street where they had numerous shots fired and Stilio from the Bottle Flat Club. His building has been hit and it's fenced. One time we had to shut the business down because it was that bad. So this house was destroyed.
That's the last on the list with just 0 calls the last couple of months. Yep. Was not a nuisance issue then, apparently. Okay, 2936 West Kilbourne. We have that one. Keith, are these the buildings you added?
Yeah, this is what's the address again?
2936 West Kilbourne.
It's up the street from Barb. I know Barb.
Oh, no.
No, the one we got.
Yeah, I'm in the Cold Spring
It's
part.
30.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the last 4?
This is the one I think I was getting some flack from.
Yeah. Almost like.
All right, it was supposed to come off the list.
Well, it's drug dealing going through that building. They use the back entrance to go back and forth to the
That 2936 West Houston.
no, what's good.
Keep that's where all the traffic is.
Yeah.
Uh, 2319 West Michigan Street, S2 Real Estate.
0 calls for service.
Tom or anybody else here with Marquette PD?
I'm here. Let me just take a quick look here. So that's out of our patrol area, but let me just see if we have any calls for service there.
That's out of your patrol area.
Correct.
What? How's 23rd in Michigan?
That's the south side of the street. So south of Michigan is out.
So we got students in Shulof's property that sits between the old Downey building and 2319.
Which building?
There's a 3-family unit on the south side of the street that's owned by Shulof. The reddish color building that's to the west of the old Downey building and to the east of 2319.
Tom, there's students in there.
I did not know that we had there.
Real nice landscape and everything.
Yeah. They did a nice job. Okay. No worries on that. Okay. Anybody here for, well, let's get through. 2433 West Michigan.
0 calls for service.
2327 West Michigan.
1 arson.
Anybody here from S2 Real Estate today?
Anyone from S2? Colin, you must be with Shula. He also made a note in the chat that they manage a 9-unit building at 2314 West Wells with Marquette students, which evidently is also outside of the Marquette zone.
I'm actually with Kasdorf Property Management, so I don't manage that other one that was referenced. But I was just mentioning, because we have at least half, if not more, probably 75% of the units are Marquette students, and it's just out of the Marquette police zone. So I wasn't sure if there's a way to update that or who we contact to possibly get an extension. I know that the owner was in discussions, and I see a car that gets parked there that's not in service, that's right on the corner of 23rd and Wells, but
I'm sorry, what was that address?
Tom, it's 2314 West Wells.
Thank you.
Family building.
Yep. And Kent, do you know the address of that building on Michigan you're referring to?
The 3 family,
Yeah.
I'll get it for you.
All right, thanks.
All right. 605 North 23rd Street.
That's where they had the fire, and then doing rehab work, and do all the lumber off in the front.
We saw that.
Yeah. That's one thing.
And Dwayne, we reported it, right?
Give a chance what to
I don't know. Give it a chance.
to do what?
That's the problem.
To do what? The cardboard box that's been sitting on the sidewalk since last week, that's tipped over and trash all over the place?
I didn't know that.
What?
Cut off some of it.
Wait a minute, what are we talking about now? What did I have?
Right here. Good.
Yeah.
We don't have any calls for service there.
No calls?
No calls.
I guess they had a pink up there. Yeah, no, it was cool.
It says it's called the West Ridge Apartments. And address is 2301 West Michigan Town.
2301 West Michigan.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so 617 North 23rd Street.
No calls for service.
2904 West Wisconsin.
There's a total of 3 calls for service, 2 of them being trouble with subjects and 1 theft.
Came from probably you guys calling. You still have somebody on site, don't you? Yeah, okay. Dealing with, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so the last 4 here, 2816 West McKinley. Yep.
0 calls for service for all 4.
Wow. So how can we got a meeting August 24th to support Berrada Environment, to support how do we inform the residents? Now, my thought process has always been to the residents use the exact address.
Speak up.
Use exact address. Officer, what we need to tell the residents to make sure that those calls are being captured? The residents saying they're calling, but it's not being captured.
What are we calling about?
So they're saying there's drug dealing going on at these properties. It's the tenants are just out of control. I don't know. I don't know if it's to be true, but that's what they said. Those 4 houses have been a big issue with Cold Spring Park for also.
Well, either the calls are coming back unfounded,
Uh-huh.
it's not gonna get recorded as a call or complaint until something,
So basically, there's like 0 calls. So if the citizen would like call the non-emergency number, it would generate like a computer generated report showing complaint. So we have
you're seeing nothing.
that way.
Well, 0 receivable calls. So, and the only ones that we were made aware of, like before these 3 addresses were sent over, was the McKinley address that we, and we had looked at that when we thought that there's going to be now.
Yeah, let me see. I just found out this weekend.
Okay.
Let me send it to you.
Because looking at I know what had been relayed to me was they were seeing the police there, but it wasn't people saying they were calling us, that they were seeing the police. And so there are certain calls, and when police will respond, that don't count towards nuisance, as like, people in this room know.
Yeah.
So if they're seeing things that they are concerned about, and they believe are problems, then they should call those in. Because I know they're seeing officers possibly there sometimes, but it's not for the issues it sounds like they are seeing occur or they are concerned about. So if we can get them to call and report what they're seeing, and if they're witnessing illegal activity, then that's, different and can start that process.
Are these old houses?
Yeah, I think they're duplexes.
So I tried to look up this one, I think 1233 and 37 is actually 1233 to 35, it's one, it's a duplex, it's one building.
So 1237 is not an address?
No.
Okay.
If we can get more information about what they're seeing, it would be helpful.
I'm sending you the invite now. I have to be honest, I don't know what all they're seeing. Audubon Bound, and this is this long chain that's going back and forth with all the residents. I don't know what they're seeing, to be honest. I know that they're saying they're calling it in. I don't know what they're calling it, how they're calling it in. But so, when you say if something is there, something is missing.
And that can happen too, if they're only calling the alderman and giving him information, then it's not things that you need to process.
Well, I mean,
I've seen that happen.
on the Cold Springs email, there was a couple residents said that they have called police, the police never showed. I can show you.
Okay, we got a building that's not, that wasn't on here, 2836 was closed, where we had the homicide and double shooting. It's gonna be some retaliatory stuff going on here, because they've been lining up for the last homicide out there daily, triple parking in the street, blocking traffic on my yard.
What's the address?
2836 was closed. It was a homicide, or the double shooting in an apartment at 5 in the morning.
Kelly, an officer, is that on the radar of the PD, you think? I would assume.
I mean, we knew about the incident, I don't know if they knew about.
It's the person I'm here.
Follow up or retaliation. So
I'll request extra squad in the area. And that squad will downtime, so
Well, listen, you guys look at this, take the. Hopefully, a whole lot of stuff.
Okay. Any other properties we need to add for next month's meeting? If not, we'll get to the commercial buildings. 901 North 27th.
But a vagrant lady that's out there, sleeps on the side of the building or on the shore every day.
That was the one we saw.
Yeah, the one that's laying on the ground.
What's her full name? I have to see a picture. Do we have her in the what's name though? In the
Yeah.
homeless thing?
Yeah.
2903 West Clybourne.
Zero calls. That could be slowed down over there after 2 months.
Okay. 930 North 27th.
zero call.
I got the same picture.
That sounds right. Is that Family Dollar going? No. 930.
Yeah, that's probably not
Right.
There. So, I don't know if it's called Family Dollar or Wendy's. There's a strip right there, and they just set up drinking, smoking weed, doing whatever they want, and it's always 15, 20 people out there all day.
Everybody here for Family Dollar today? I got any update on Family Dollar, Lindsay?
Kelly has an update.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you kind of speak loudly?
Yeah.
I think they're having a hard time picking you up.
What I know is they did have this hearing, they did rule in favor of the city, but then in response, they asked that it be put on hold while the appeal is pending. Instead of immediately saying that that would happen, they set it over for another hearing this Friday at 4 o'clock. So kind of what the city attorney says, that the city has prevailed at the circuit court level, but the source is still engaged in their licensed activities for September. They also added that even if the court declines to stay the execution of the order pending appeal, Amidala won't have to close its doors. It just has to stop selling the products that require licensing. Licensed products.
Right, right.
So, kind of put in that.
Well, sure.
I would have to. I'm sorry, I don't,
Yeah.
but I can follow up.
They don't sell cigarettes. They smoke tobacco? Okay. So that's a licensing product. They don't have any cooked or warm food. No. Well, gotta have a seller's permit. I wonder if that, okay. Let's try to find out what that pertains to as far as, what license they're gonna lose and what they can still be open for if it goes through on Friday. 927 North 27.
Zero calls. Let's hear it, right?
Oh, okay. 959 North 27.
Zero calls.
And, it's actually gotten better. Like your beer, like you don't see anybody standing out there.
Yeah, people across the street at Wendy's.
Yeah, they're across the street now. But it's calmed down right there in that area. Nobody even going to garden anymore. So.
I'm telling you, after 9 o'clock, 20 some street goes down, there's nobody else.
914 North 27.
Zero calls.
We're still having issues with the lot on the corner neighborhood house. Been better.
You guys put a swing set up.
It looks good.
All right, we don't have DNS here, so we don't know what our junkyard situation is behind Wendy's.
I've been over there and it's almost down to nothing.
Okay,
I'm
good.
gonna clean down 80% of the stuff that was there.
And that's what I heard. I heard they were slowly.
No one's living there. I drove, when we drove by yesterday,
I'll say that.
I see that trailer.
Trailers and stuff
Yeah.
are disappearing. It's cleaning up, so.
All right, well, we'll have to follow up on DNS with some other things that we put on their lists. Okay, any other businesses? Do we have anything else to, additional topics, updates?
We are having a brought beer thoughts on Friday, tomorrow, from 1 to 3:30 on Wells Street. And we will have folks from Legal Action of Wisconsin sharing resources on eviction prevention and accessing rent assistance and all that good stuff.
Good. All right. So,
Where on Wall Street?
29 in Wells.
all right.
Kelly, we might be nice to have some officers with lighter patrol. I'm not
Sorry, you're
scared.
just finding out about this now.
I'm not scared, but that'd be nice. I mean, Lucas, you can join this man too. You
I'll come
strapped.
with, when we go out there. Are we off?
No.
Taking a West resident survey. Okay, what else we got, Elizabeth?
Keith, do you maybe want to just talk briefly about vaccine stuff that we're doing?
Yeah, so real quickly, vaccine rates are absolutely terrible in the neighborhood side, specifically Cold Spring Park and Concordia neighborhoods. And so we're going to be working to get people to encourage them to get vaccinated. We have several clinics working with City on the Hill, Catholic Financial Life, and Neighborhood House. Neighborhood House has a set calendar. It's all on our Facebook page. Working closely with Dwayne and Savannah, we get this information out. We're hoping that landlords, if you can, if we can get in your building, just pass that information out. It helps everybody out. It helps everyone out. We're trying to get back to some sense of normalcy. So if you're willing to allow us to get inside your building, just to pass out that information and post it, let us know. We would do that, but we can use a lot of support on that. But we're going to continue to work clinics, continue with getting information out on social media, but we got to get these numbers up.
Okay. And there's some numbers. What else we got, Elizabeth? Is that it? Next meeting, September 9th. School. We will be here and we will be doing this hybrid again for another month. So we see what our future plans hold.
And I hope that we will have better audio at that point. Thanks for those who were with us today. If it was a little hard to hear, shoot an email or let us know and we can get you details on anything you might be looking for.
Any other thing you want to let us know, please use the chat for that. Again, thank you for joining us today and have a good rest.